Welcome to Jason Expeditions. Pemberton is next on my steps, but this is me leaving or entering, depending on how you want to view this, Hardy Falls Regional Park. Good morning all from Hardy Falls. So I'm just outside of Penticton, about to do a morning hike, and found myself a little spot right here by Hardy Falls. And I had promised, what sort of jury rigging did I do for sleeping? And I'll talk about this a little further on how to make vehicle habitable. So all that stuff that I threw into the vehicle from the part earlier that I showed, well, this is how I restructured it quickly in the dark into quick accommodations. So yes, all that stuff is still there. Then I just slid a little sleeping bag in for part of it. That's it. Not really that complicated. So now I'm going to go for my walk and basically see a nice little falls. I haven't been here before, but there it is. Pretty straightforward. And because it's early, around 6 a.m., not expecting to have a lot of people basically interrupting me. And the wake up process, right? Nothing against having a quick, Fur Brigade Trail, it calls it here. Nothing like a quick little walk in the morning to get yourself moving along. So this is how the trail continues. And refreshing sounds of water. So let's see what I'll see. So I'll be mostly exploring around Penticton today, and then from there I'll basically continue moving on for the next few days and seeing a little bit more of the countryside. And I think I'll probably take a little look at the mining history of the area and the wineries. Basically just enjoy exploring a little piece of the Okanagan. I must admit they put in some effort here to make these little bridges nice and pleasant. So I guess we all have our little exercise programs. This is one of mine. Get up, look around, see the sounds. You can hear all the birdies. As said, I don't really know much beyond that it was on Google what I'm going to see here. That's okay. Oh yes, little notes of camping out. It's actually really good in terms of your go bag to consider this as an option. If you're going to be in a situation where you might actually have to use your vehicle or one of your vehicles as temporary housing, it can happen, Lots of ways that can happen. Here's a thought for you. Actually try to see how you would configure it to sleep in it. Now, some vehicles don't have much of a comfortable option when it comes to it. Others, on the other hand, well, you know what? They'd be very comfortable. But until you really try to stretch out in it and see how it actually works, you might find that you need a few extra pillows, some pieces of foam for little spots to be able to, let's just say, make it a little bit more comfortable if you find yourself having to use it, especially more than one night. So I know it's not one of the most standard things people talk about when it comes to a go bag, but one aspect of going is likely sleeping. So spending a little time figuring out how you're going to make wherever you're going to sleep comfortable, well, how is that a negative? So that's just a little point. I usually find that a few pieces of strategic foam or pillows, other materials, can also take a space that doesn't seem very comfy. Remember, it's only made for a short period of time. Well, it makes it a lot more workable. And let's face it, if you're going to have to use a vehicle to sleep in, even temporarily, might as well try to make it as comfortable as you can. Well, as you're probably noticing with this trail, the theme is bridges. And I'd like to find out who they got to put the bridges together, because personally, I thought, nice little design. Aha! So, this is the waterfall. There you go. This is it. I've come all this way to see this. Why not? So, Hardy Falls, there it is. And they highlight Okanagan kokanee salmon here. And, oh, why not? I'll read a little part of this. So, let's do a little effort of an educational component. All right. So, rivers shift, oceans fall, and mountains drift. REM. All right. So, it's not that much of a reading. So, here it is. I think let's try and do this to the sound effects. Here it goes. Restoration involves reverting an area back to a more natural state after it has been used for a different purpose. Sometimes the damage is so severe that even nature needs a helping hand to get back to what it used to be. This is the case with the trail at Hardy Falls. Because of the instability of the rock around the waterfall, it is no longer safe for the public to be in that area, and consequently, the trail has been shortened. The footpath that used to go to the base of the waterfall has caused the soil to be severely compacted and eroded from years of being walked on by park visitors. Regional District Park Services is committed to restoring the area of the trail beyond the viewing platform back to a more natural state. The objectives of the restoration project are to, here it is, Enhance the vegetation and habitat along the creek to allow for natural regeneration. Provide a buffer of vegetation for future rockfall events. Eliminate access to the old trail terminus to ensure public safety. Native plants will be used to restore the disturbed area. These are plants that naturally grow in this environment and are important for continuing biodiversity. The restoration will be implemented in several small steps over a period of time. Initial plantings of hardier species will amend the soil to allow for other plants to take root. This will be a long process, so as you revisit Hardy Falls Regional Park over the years, you can watch and make note of the changes that occur. So with that being said, that is where the trail used to go. That is what the falls actually look like, what vegetation you see, and then the trail onward. Okay, I'm going to try to do some interesting views. Maybe I'll try the views this way. Now I have no preview screen, so what you see is about as much of a surprise as what I see. All right, and oh, why not? Do you want part 2 of Hardy Falls geology? Well, maybe some of you do. So, let's see how I can handle talking about geology. Now, I don't have much of an announcer's voice. I'll just try the best I can. Oh, here we go. Rocks in the Hardy Falls area are categorized as plutonic and are formed under the Earth's surface by cooling magma. They are often referred to as intrusive volcanic rocks. Plutonic rock is composed of mostly durable minerals in the form of large interlocking crystals and wide-spaced joint planes. Normally these rocks are quite stable and can support steep slopes, as seen in the canyon here. However, plutonic rock can contain weaker minerals like feldspar, which gives the rock its pinkish coloring and is less resistant to the weathering powers of nature. Hardy Falls exists because of the way water flowing in the Peachland Creek has eroded the rock. Over many years, the water has worn away the less resistant rock containing feldspar faster than the rock without this mineral. The erosion is concentrated along a normal fault that runs north-south through the area. The fault is visible to the left of the falls and is shown in the accompanying photo. On March 24, 2009, a rock fall event occurred to the right of the falls, which I showed a picture of, resulting in the pile of rocks in the deep pool at the base of Hardy Falls. A rock fall is the abrupt detachment of rock from a slope that occurs along a weak point. Okay, that's the scientific term of it. During this rock fall event, approximately 200 meters cube of rock tumbled down into the canyon. All right, so that is the rock fall they are talking about. A geotechnical investigation determined that there was a high likelihood of future rock falls and or landslides along the walking trail, which resulted in the trail terminus being relocated approximately 25 meters short of the falls. So there you go. A little bit of geology, and I'll try to do a quick view again of the falls. The rock fall, the geology of the area, and now back to the trail. So, and they have a lot of signs here. I might as well show one There's a little warning they give. One step can kill hundreds of salmon. Keep pets, kids, and adults out of the creek and spawning channel from September to May. So it is a salmon-bearing creek, and they're trying to make sure as many of the fish return. And quite frankly, there's a lot of people who really enjoy their fishing out here. And if you do like fishing, plenty of lakes and different types of species of fish. So keeping that in mind, I will be going as part of my plan to go to Princeton. So I'll be definitely planning to do some gold panning. So now I'll take a break, and thank you very much for joining me. And this is Jason Expeditions.